Phenomena.
Ba-ba-da-da-da.
Mahamana.
We're back.
We're back.
Yeah. Episode 7.
Episode 7. We're here. We're alive. We're well.
Somehow.
Have you been sick lately, Logan? I feel like everybody's been sick.
I did get sick a little bit ago. About a week or two ago.
Like,
don't know how long it'll have been since this will be uploaded, but
right.
yeah. It was rough.
Like last Thursday going into Friday, I was sick as a dog. I came home from work and slept.
Yep.
Just slept. But anyway. Well, in case you're new, my name is Kaylee.
My name is Logan.
And we don't know what we're doing. And if you're not new and you still don't know what you're doing, you're not alone. We're with you. None of us know what we're doing. We're taking our time and figuring it out.
Yeah. So what's in the docket for today?
On the docket for today, I almost started reading the wrong outline. It is February 7th. And a couple days ago, it was the Grammys. So our next installment in award season chaos. It's kind of going through Grammy W's and L's, dubs and losses.
Yep. Talk about some memorable things that happened there.
Some pretty great performances, some really cool speeches.
And Trevor Noah.
So as of recording this, we're also a week out from Valentine's Day. So to kind of cover the obligatory base, we're going to talk about love.
Woo.
But that'll be really fun for you, Logan.
Yeah, that'll be a fun segment for sure.
That'll be a fun segment.
Yep.
And then we're gonna kind of and then we're gonna close out with some reviews. I got a book and Logan got a movie. And not hopefully, I know they're very relevant to today's topic, but
yes, they are.
Hopefully you enjoy them and you're either inspired to read the book or watch the movie.
We'll see about that.
We'll see. I don't really read. Well, no, I'm not going to say anything negative about what I choose to read because what I choose to read makes me happy. But it's not everybody's cup of tea.
I'm not going to take that approach.
What do you mean?
If I review something, it could be either really good or really bad or in between. We don't know until I review it.
I guess that's just my thing is that I always, if I know I'm not going to like a book, I don't finish it.
Yeah.
Like I give it 50 pages. If I'm not vibing with it, I'm done. I'm not going to waste my time anymore.
Yeah.
That being said, not the book that I'm going to review today, but the one that I read after that book did kind of drag a little bit for me, but I did stick with that one and I did really enjoy it. So maybe that's a sign that I need to change my attitude, but who knows?
Interesting. But that's for later.
That's for later. Book talks for later.
Yeah. Right now is music.
I've been talking about this for months, ever since the nominations came out, and I have been on the edge of my seat. And no, this is actually not about Taylor Swift yet. So, Ghost was nominated for Best Metal Performance for Phantom of the Opera, which is a good song. I really like it. I like that whole EP. Kind of the thing that Ghost does is that they release their full-length studio album, and then between albums and during tour cycles, they put out EPs, which are mostly like just cover albums of like 4 or 5 really just like diverse, crazy songs. Like they've covered Muse, they've covered the Eurythmics. Like it's amazing.
Yeah.
They released their 5th album Impera, and during the tour cycle for Impera, they released Phantomine, which is the EP. And the story behind Phantomine is that each song that was picked very intentionally and is supposed to represent one of the like the frontman that came before.
Mhm.
And so on that album is a cover of Iron Maiden's Phantom of the Opera. And that is the song that got nominated for Best Metal Performance. It did not win Best Metal Performance. Metallica did. Which is fine. Like, it's Metallica, whatever.
Oh, they've got metal in their name. Yo,
Yo.
that's
And it's
pretty
really funny
metal.
because Ghost has covered Enter Sandman before, and they've like I don't know, they've covered Enter Sandman, they've covered Metallica. It's Metallica though. You know,
Yeah.
it would have been really cool if Ghost won a Grammy because they've been nominated for like 6 total Grammys and they've only won one.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in like 2017. And like there's a whole ton of like fan theory speculation going on. And one of the big theories, so it's kind of odd to talk about Ghosts because it's all the same guy in a mask just playing different characters.
Yeah.
And essentially the 3 Papas who came before Papa 4 were all killed off so that Papa 4 could be Papa. And the theory is that since he didn't win the Grammy, he's going to absolutely die next.
So he's gonna become a ghost.
Gonna become a ghost. And like there's been absolutely like nothing, like no word from Ghost since their tour ended. This is the first time that the mastermind behind Ghost has been seen in public since like October. Now it's really funny because Metallica killed Papa 4. Maybe.
Oof.
We'll find out if Metallica killed Papa 4.
We'll find out. Probably by the time this goes up.
Oh my goodness, I would cry. And like the thing is too, like they do a lot of like between their 4th and 5th albums, they're putting out like chapter videos, which was just little stories about Papa 4, who started as a cardinal, like just living his life, you know. There's one about tax season, one where he goes to the beach. There's one where he practices boxing, like.
So you're saying he's like the Doctor from Doctor Who?
I have never seen Doctor Who. I have no idea what that simile means.
So like each Doctor, like it's different person playing them, like it's still the same character essentially. So it's like the opposite of that.
It's like the opposite. It's different characters, but it's the same guy playing them all. Yeah. That's a great way to put it.
He's the anti-doctor.
He is the anti-doctor. He is the anti-pope.
The mortician.
Some people think that he is the antichrist, but we will see about that.
I highly doubt that.
But I think Tobias Forge is sick of being Papa 4, and no matter how much I love him,
yeah,
I just have to accept that, and he wants to take Ghost in another different direction, and that's okay. If Papa 5 is different, then so be it.
He's gonna make jazz.
A jazz Ghost album. That'd be amazing, actually.
That would actually be really good.
But yeah, as long as Papa 4 gets to live, I don't care anymore. Let the man retire. He deserves a beach vacation, okay?
Or
anyway, I could talk
Taylor
about
Swift.
Ghost for hours. What?
He does Taylor Swift's music.
Taylor Swift is Papa 5.
Yep.
I'm kidding. I could talk about Ghost for hours. So, speaking of Taylor Swift, she did exactly what she did at the VMAs when she announced Midnights. She announced her 11th original studio album.
Wow.
This woman is 34 years old.
That's
and 11
crazy.
studio albums. Like, that's crazy. To put that in perspective, Kenny Chesney just announced his 20th studio album and dropped his first single for that album. And he is 55. So Taylor is on pace to beat Kenny Chesney if she keeps putting out original albums. Yeah. So we don't know if she'll do that, but
And I think with Midnight's, she won the best album at the Grammys as well.
Yeah, she won. I think she won Album of the Year.
Yeah.
And
Which
I
also
think it's
puts
Pop
her
Vocal Album.
like most Album of the Year awards from the Grammys.
Because she has 4 total.
Yeah. Because she was tied for the most with a couple other people at 3, but now she's on top.
No, she has 4.
Yeah.
And like if you look at the albums that got the Grammys, like you have Fearless, you have 1989, which was her first pop album.
Yep.
You have Folklore and you have Midnight's.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it's well deserved. I love Taylor. I love literally everything she does. Except like I don't like Reputation as much, but that's just me.
Whoa.
I know.
Guess you can't be a real fan now.
I guess not. I guess I can't have a nuanced opinion of my favorite artist.
Wow.
Or one of my favorite artists. Can't have a nuanced worldview of anything or else I'm not a real fan. As far as the rest of the Grammys go, super happy for Miley Cyrus.
Barbie.
I'm so sick of Barbie. I'm so sick of the monopoly Barbie has had on the American public. It's why is an entire category just Barbie songs except for one?
Yeah. Like I get Barbie was a really good movie. It did have a really good soundtrack.
Yeah.
But at the same time there was other things that had really good music. Like I feel like for that one category that you're talking about, I feel like they should limit it to one song per movie. Like per visual media thing.
Like you can like enter one song from your soundtrack.
Yeah.
To be nominated or whatever. I don't know how that works, but
or like the people that do the nomination stuff, they can only choose one song to nominate. Because you shouldn't have a category like that where it's just one movie, essentially.
Yeah.
Because that just immediately kicks out any other movie that had really good music to it. Like songs made for it.
And
like Across the Spider-Verse had a good number of songs made for it that were also like really good. And yet they're not here because Barbie.
Like, I get it, girl power, whatever. But
yeah.
Come on.
But even then, like the movie itself isn't advocating for feminism or stuff like that, honestly. Like, it's more about how you can't have one group of people in charge of everything. Because at the start of the movie, you had Barbie Land, complete control by the Barbies. And everything was really good for them, but things weren't very good for the Kens. Later in the movie, Barbie Land is under complete control of the Kens. Things are really good for them, but things are really bad for the Barbies. And it's only when, at the end, where they both come together, decide, we need to make some changes. We can't ignore one group or the other. We kind of have to start working together. That was the message of Barbie.
I did not see Barbie, so I appreciate that.
There were so many people that missed that. And they thought like, oh, it's just anti-patriarchy, anti-men, feminism stuff. And like, yeah, there is a little bit of that, but it's not just that. Like, it's pointing out the flaws in a full patriarchal society or a full matriarchal society.
Yeah.
Like, we can't have either of those. We kind of have to work together and just be a society.
And find like a compromise. Yeah.
Take that, people that hated the Barbie movie.
Take that.
Take that.
It's about equity.
It's about treating each other with respect, acknowledging the wants of the other
Mm-hmm.
while not belittling them.
Like everybody gets their space to
Mhm.
exist. Who do you think has been the best host of the award season so far?
Well, I think I can tell you who it wasn't.
Uh, honestly, I don't even remember who was that.
I don't
I
even
don't
remember his
remember.
name.
Why can I not remember? The guy from it was the Emmys, right?
Yep,
With the crappy guy.
yep. He was bald.
What's a stupid name? No, wait, no, it wasn't Anthony Anderson. Not him.
It was
What was the other award show? Golden
Golden
Globes, that
Globes,
one.
yeah, that one.
I had to think of which one Taylor Swift was at. Joe Coy.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
That
was rough.
my bad. That was rough.
Yeah.
Did not even remember that. Remember when Stephen Harvey was hosting, or Steve Harvey, Stephen Harvey?
Stephen Harvey.
That did not feel right. Like the second it came out, I knew that was wrong. Oh my god. Stephen Harvey. Steve Harvey when he hosted like Miss Universe or whatever and he called the wrong girl.
Yeah.
That was horrible. If I was him, I would have just like I would have just hit it.
Yeah. That's why he has the answer show up on the screen behind him.
He doesn't have to say what the answer is. He goes, "Give me, show me something,"
Yeah.
and then it shows him.
Or he just says what other people say
Right.
and see if it's actually the answer.
I think Paramore is having a bit of a comeback.
Yeah.
I don't think this is Paramore's best era, but they're coming back, which is cool.
Yeah. So, question about the Grammys. Is it only artists like from the US?
There are international categories.
I feel like there should be more.
There should be more.
Because there's a
like
lot
Latin
of
jazz, there's
a lot of international types of music
that needs to be recognized.
I feel like they don't really do them justice. They only really focus on US, North America based people.
Yeah, and there's a it's called what was this called? Look at it right. Country and American Roots is like the Americana, whatever. So Field 7 is Latin, global, reggae, and new age, ambient, or chant. It feels just like really rushed. Like, we're going to put every type of international music under one category.
Yeah.
It's going to be it.
Or like these few specific types of music. Like, yes, Latin music is very popular. It's like it does make sense to have like Latin music categories. But other than that, there's like African music performance, global music performance.
Yeah. Like instead of being, it should be like a different feel, like each like variety or like cultural difference should be its own field and not just a category under Field 7.
Like best Asian or something like that. Which even then there's a lot of variety.
So like Field 7 or like Field 7 Asian or something like divided by the region. I think the Beatles winning best music video is huge.
Yeah, that is.
And like Now and Then came out and it like blew up for a day and I feel like it kind of fizzled out.
Sure.
And
if you want to say that.
I'm Wait, what do you mean by I feel like you don't agree with me.
Well, we'll see later.
What do you mean?
We'll see. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It'll
I
be a
mean,
surprise.
I'm just afraid that it's going to turn into like you know how Olivia Rodrigo blew up
Mhm.
and was super famous for a while, and now like people are not paying her as much attention. Like last year, she won like 7 Grammys. This year, she won 0.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that's going to happen to the Beatles. Like they're going to have this huge revival, and then they're just going to be like cast off when like the next fad happens.
Yeah. That could be.
That's just my fear. But anyway.
Which I don't even know if they had much of a revival, because Now and Then was just kind of like their last unreleased song
Yeah.
that they were finally able to release.
Yeah. Well, then they have 50 years of backlogged
Yeah.
catalog. And like the anthology albums, the like those things are like 40 some songs
Yeah.
long. Trying to think, there's
Like there's a lot of
like,
music
have you heard
there.
their recordings from like the early 60s where they
Yeah.
did like oh my god, like all of those, like the Sammy Nestico songs and
Mhm.
Sweet 16 or whatever.
Yeah. Which
Ringo Starr should not have sang that song, but
no.
I listened to it every day anyway.
Which there's a funny
Because
thing about
boy, do
the
I love
Beatles,
Ringo.
because when they
Uh-huh.
first started, they were like the original boy band, where you had like the
Yes.
Beatle
Uh-huh.
fever, Beatlemania,
Beatlemania.
and it was
Still
all
have
of
it.
the like young adult teenage girls that were like
Yeah.
crazy obsessed with them. But nowadays, their main audience is like older men, which is really weird.
Yeah.
Like how that changed.
It's like
Because like we haven't seen that with bands like say One Direction.
yeah. You're so right, because One Direction is still just like girly as
Yeah.
heck. And I think like that makes sense for the Beatles
Yeah.
because when like 1965, 66, and 67, when their genres started shifting and they
Yeah.
started producing darker music and like more,
Mhm.
they were experimenting more. A lot of
Yeah.
it was pioneering, not a lot of it was like conventionally good for the time.
Mhm. It wasn't as
And
poppy.
I think yeah, and either their audience shifted with them or they didn't,
Yeah.
you know,
They got a different audience
um, than what they started with.
which we don't really see that anymore. We don't really
No.
see artists and bands shifting like that. Don't even really see
Yeah.
a lot of musicians experimenting on the level that the Beatles did anymore either.
Mhm. It's I don't know, it's kind of sad
Yeah.
because like, I think you have like Miley Cyrus had a huge shift. Taylor Swift obviously had
Mhm.
a huge shift, but
Yeah.
even now she's kind of folklore and Evermore were
Mhm.
way like I think shifting is becoming less of a big deal now that more artists are just doing it implicitly in their albums.
Yeah. And their audience
But
shifts with them. Like it doesn't they don't completely change audiences.
yeah, it's like more ride or die kind of a thing.
Mhm. Like Taylor's audience has
Um,
always been the same
yeah, I would say so.
for the most part at least.
Did you So kind of very similar to the Beatles when the Monkees had their shift.
Mhm.
Um like between I think it really coincides with when Don Kirchner got fired
Yeah.
and they were allowed to play on their own albums and write their own albums.
Yep.
Because you can see it happen between like more of the Monkees and then Headquarters and then Pisces.
Mhm.
Like we're just 3 very different stages and very different albums.
Yeah.
And when they put out these albums and they tried so hard to do things in their concerts that aligned with it, like when they had Jimi Hendrix open for them.
Yeah.
But then all the girls who listened to their first 2 albums and watched the show and still wanted them to be their pop stars, like,
They weren't.
booed Jimi Hendrix off the stage. Like, they didn't want to let them shift. And then I think that caused them to do more drastic things, and that's why we have Head and 33 and a Third, which was an absolute disaster. But I don't know. Definitely in the Monkees' case, their fans caused their downfall.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, and kind of the same with the Beatles.
And the Beatles, I'm not sure.
In a little bit different way.
I don't know what happened with the Beatles. I have so many theories.
It's because one of them got shot.
What? I mean, I'm talking like when they first broke up. Like, did one of them get shot? But I know somebody tried to kill George Harrison in like the early 70s, but was there another incident before 1980 that I don't know about?
Are we confusing our lore of the Beatles with other stuff?
I think so. Maybe.
Are we Mandela affecting ourselves?
I think so.
We might be.
Because are you thinking of the Paul is dead theory?
Oh, that could be.
I absolutely think that Paul McCartney is dead. But I don't think he died in the car crash that they sing about in A Day in the Life. I think it's because when he got engaged to Jane Asher, John Lennon flew into a jealous rage and killed him because they were lovers. And then that's why he reacted so strongly with Yoko. And like, that's my theory.
Yoko did it.
And then even then, I don't know how much of a hand Yoko really had in breaking up the Beatles.
Yeah.
I don't think it was all her fault.
It was probably the drugs.
Oh, yeah.
It was probably the drugs.
There was not a day between like 1967 and probably 74 that John Lennon was sober. Ever.
No,
absolutely not.
And so was like every other artist at that time. Yeah.
I think the No song by Ringo Starr is so cute because he's like, nope, I don't do drugs anymore. Yeah. Like, he's just so cute about it. I love him. Yeah. I love her. Anything Ringo does, I'm like swooning. I have to Google this. There's some weird independent British movie from the 2000s. It's called Two of Us. And it's about do you know the story of when Paul McCartney was on SNL in like 76 and John Lennon saw it and just showed up at Paul McCartney's house and they were hanging out for a little bit?
I don't think so.
That's a story. That's a fun story. And then John went home. They didn't talk again. And then 1980 happened. Yeah. But anyway, there's a movie about what they like those couple of days they spent together, and it's called The Two of Us. And there's a scene where they get in an elevator and they kiss. And like, I'm like, yes, that happened. That happened all the time.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. There's a lot of like stuff that's obviously public about the Beatles, especially nowadays. There's also still so much that was like behind the closed doors.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot that people don't really know.
There's a lot that is going to die that died with them. Yeah. And is going to die with them.
Yeah. A lot of those like experimental techniques that they invented probably as well. Mm-hmm. Like very specific things that they did to make those very specific sounds that they used. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like how they actually recorded Revolution 9.
Yeah.
Why they recorded Revolution 9? Thinking about the Beatles too much makes me really sad.
Maybe one of these days we'll have to get my dad in, do a interview about the Beatles.
I would love that.
Yeah. Yo, Dad.
Does your dad think Paul McCartney's dead?
I don't know. We'll have to ask him.
I'll have to ask him.
Yeah. So, guess what? I saw a movie recently.
Yay! What
Woo.
movie?
I saw Argyle.
Gasp.
It just came out really recently. Directed by Matthew Vaughn, director of the Kingsman movies and some other stuff like that. Known for kind of a comedic action, kind of satirical type movie.
Nice.
And this one is
satire.
also very similar to his style. However, I don't think it was his best. I think it might have come down to a studio deliberation. It just didn't feel like it was fully him.
Yeah, like fully realized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I know what he can do with like the Kingsman series, and like he's really good with that type of stuff. I almost feel like the studio intervened a little bit. Maybe producers got involved somehow, changed some things. But
as producers do.
Yeah, unfortunately. But I did think that it was a fun movie, at least. Even if it wasn't very that great. Because it's definitely not the best movie. But I don't think it's as bad as what some people are saying.
Okay, bold.
Good point for the movie is that it has a very stacked cast.
Yeah, I noticed that. Dua Lipa and Henry Cavill. And
yeah. Which Dua Lipa is only there for like maybe 5 minutes.
So it's like a cameo kind of a thing.
Kind of, yeah. Which is kind of sad because she did pretty good in those 5 minutes. But yeah, Henry Cavill, John Cena, Bryce Dallas Howard, they're all really good in it. Especially Bryce Dallas Howard. She's got good acting chops. I like her. She's pretty cool. But it did feel like the movie was a little confused at times because it obviously wants to be an action movie because Bryce Dallas Howard's character is like an author, Ellie Conway. And so she's writing these spy books. They're like really, really popular.
Yeah.
And then I guess the premise of it was like, what if a wizard came to J.K. Rowling's doorstep and was like, everything you wrote about Hogwarts is real. Whoa. Which is an interesting premise.
Yeah.
I'll give it that.
I would read that. I'd probably watch that.
Yeah. There's a good number of twists and turns in it. There's a cat.
Cat.
Oh, and there's also Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston.
Mr. Walter.
Walter White.
Walter
Have you
White.
been to Applebee's lately? I'm sorry, this is so random.
No, I haven't.
Him and the other guy from Breaking Bad have their own like how do I? What am I thinking? They have their own line of mezcals, which is like really smoky tequila. So now the thing at Applebee's is the mezcal Rita. And they have like a giant cardboard cutout of Bryan Cranston at Applebee's.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'll have to say that.
That's funny. Huh. Interesting. But like the first half of the movie is like really good action, good bit of comedy. And then the second half is just like twist after twist after twist. It is a little much.
I was going to ask if it was too much twist.
Yeah, it's a little much. I didn't think it made it awful, though. It was just a little much, you know?
Yeah.
And so Ellie Conway, Bryce Dallas Howard's character, wrote these books, and this other spy comes and meets with her on a train, and there's a big action sequence, and it's like he's saying to her, like, yeah, everything you wrote actually happened, and it like is currently happening.
Crazy.
Like there's the evil spy organization trying to find this manuscript that if it gets released to the public, it would completely destroy them, expose them for who they really are. And then I don't really want to spoil all of
Right,
it
right.
because I do think it would be a good movie to watch, like when it goes on streaming or something,
Mm-hmm.
because it kind of gave the vibes of something like Red Notice. If you've seen that,
I have not seen Red Notice.
which is it's a kind of a spy action comedy on Netflix. It's got Ryan Reynolds and
Oh,
Dwayne Johnson in it.
sounds like an awesome movie.
It was really good. But that's not what I'm reviewing today. And so they end up going and finding the real Agent Argyle at one point,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if I should spoil that or not.
Hey, it's your review.
I'm gonna spoil it. If you don't want to be spoiled, skip ahead like a couple minutes or so. Just keep skipping. Keep going.
Just
Keep
keep
going.
sipping. Keep
Yep.
going. Keep going.
Yep.
Keep going.
And so
Almost there.
the real Agent Argyle is actually Ellie Conway. That's the big twist
Woo, that's pretty cool.
because her real name was R. Kyle, which is kind of dumb.
R. Kyle. Like R. Kelly.
Yeah. But in a better way.
Right. Anything's better than R. Kelly.
Yeah. But it does get revealed by Samuel L. Jackson,
Ooh.
who essentially does a better job at being Nick Fury in this than he did in Secret Invasion.
Nice.
So, because he actually does something instead of just being worthless. I have beef with Secret Invasion. But it turns out that Bryan Cranston's character, who's like the evil guy in charge of the evil spy company people, had like brainwashed Arkyle. And so Ellie Conway thinks that Bryan Cranston's character is her father.
Oh my god.
And it also turns out that Ellie Conway and the other spy guy were in love.
They were in love.
Yep. They were in love. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
And they have a really good action sequence dance as well. And then after a bit, they fight each other because,
Oh my
oops,
god.
Agent Arkyle is still brainwashed.
Oh my god.
And it's because of a little music box. And that music box plays her song, which is Now and Then by the Beatles.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's kind of awesome.
Yeah. So, like, the director had to keep that a secret for like a full year
Oh my
that song
gosh.
existed.
That's crazy. Imagine that's your biggest secret.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like, just hearing that song in a movie is like really cool as well.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Now I want to see it.
Yeah. And I won't spoil the full ending if they win or not. I won't spoil that. But there's like a end scene where Ellie Conway is doing like another book signing event, and she's like taking questions, and there's a guy that raises his hand, stands up, and then you can see Ellie Conway recognizes him. The camera turns to him, and it's Henry Cavill with a mullet and a really bad Southern accent.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So maybe he was the real Agent Argyle the whole time.
Maybe the Agent Argyle was the friends that we made along the way.
And there is also like a mid-roll post-credit scene, which
Gasp.
I don't know what it does,
What it do?
but it kind of potentially connects it to like the Kingsman series.
Oh, okay.
Kind of. But also not really. Because it might not be
Maybe
anything.
a little bit. Right.
I don't know.
But it's the same director. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
I think he kind of made it ambiguous.
Yeah.
On purpose. But it's like almost like a trailer for a movie that would have been made in that fictional world. It's like there's a character that goes to the Kingsman, like it's a bar essentially. It's got like the Kingsman logo on it, and they go up and talk like the secret code, and then the bartender is like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "I'm Aubrey Argyle." And then it like goes to a poster, and it's like Argyle, Book 1, the movie.
The movie.
It's like it could just be like a comedic thing where it's just like a trailer for a movie that would have been made in that world.
Right. Oh, that's cool.
Or it could be connecting it to the Kingsman series.
Yeah.
Either way, kind of cool. But overall, the movie felt just a little messy at times.
Okay.
Too many ideas, too many twists. Just a little too much.
Right.
Probably could have been dialed back a bit, simplified some.
Probably could have been 2 movies. Maybe.
No. I think it still works better as one movie, but just dialed back a little bit.
Right.
But overall, I think I would rate it like a 5 or a 6 out of 10.
Oh.
Not bad, but not really all that good.
But not.
Kind of mid.
Huh. I hear you.
But it also has the Beatles.
No, it's Beatles.
So
any Beatles reference is a good reference.
Yeah. I do like the art style in it as well.
Okay.
Very much leaning a bit into like the diamond color palette from like the 70s. So I like that.
That's cool. That's cool. I do want to see that movie. I want to see it just for the Beatles reference.
Yeah. I would recommend seeing it. I don't know if I can fully recommend seeing it in theaters.
Okay, that's fair.
But if you know you want to see it, kind of enjoy a campy, sarcastic romance comedy, then you'd enjoy it.
Yeah.
So that's Argyle.
That's something to consider. Well, thank you for that, Logan. Yeah. That was a great review. Yeah. And like the heck yeah, Beatles reference. That's awesome.
Yeah. Surprise.
Surprise! Surprise! It's Paul McCartney. Honestly, I thought when you were telling that story, when she looks up, it would be Paul McCartney, not Henry Cavill. But
no,
that would be funny.
It's Henry Cavill with a mullet and a really bad Southern accent. It is kind of funny.
Probably, yeah.
Because it's Henry Cavill.
That probably, like, serves that, yeah. Because, like, this guy, she, like... And
she
Vince is
manifests
real.
him,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
Because, like, she sees Argyle kind of, like, as herself.
Yeah.
Which...
like, a male version.
Makes sense, given the twists in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know. It's weird. I kind of feel like it almost needs a sequel to explain some more stuff.
Right. Probably about, like, a prequel, sequel, too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I hear you.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Mamma Mia 2 is a prequel, sequel of Mamma Mia.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Goodness. All right. Well, I have been reading.
Whoa.
Whoa. I know how to read. I read book 4 out of 40 for 2024. Currently reading book number 5, it's called The Rachel Incident. I'm about like 20 pages in, so I don't really have a good grasp of what's going on, but it is kind of in the same genre as like Normal People by Sally Rooney, in that it is an Irish author, lit fiction, just that same kind of vibe, just like young people living their lives, character driven novels. Probably not a lot will happen because when you're reading a character driven book, it kind of relies on like the vices and virtues of those characters.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they don't have a lot of ambition and they just rely on each other, which I think is really fascinating. And I think Normal People is like one of the best books ever written, but I digress. The book that I'm reviewing today is not lit fic, but it's like more chick lit. Who was surprised?
Yeah.
And it's called That Month in Tuscany by Inglath Cooper. And it's book number 1 out of a trilogy, which all kind of have like that vibe. Like, I think book number 2 is called like That Birthday in Barbados, and I do want to read the rest of the series because I did like this book. But it definitely was chick lit. I know I reviewed The Body in Question, and that book is technically labeled as chick lit, but I think this book is more chick lit than The Body in Question. Take a shot every time I say chick lit. Oh my god. But it fits the Valentine's Day romancy kind of a feel. So to summarize, Lizzie Harper, who is the main protagonist, it does switch POVs throughout the book, which I do like.
Ooh.
I used to not like that.
I love it. It's so much fun.
I used to not like that. When I read Breaking Dawn, I hated that. But as I've gotten older, I appreciate it more, and I think like I do want to revisit the Twilight series, and I think reading it now would be a totally different experience than when I was reading it in like 6th grade. But anyway, so Lizzie and her husband planned their anniversary trip to go to Italy, but her husband ditches her. He tells her to cancel it. He's like, he wants to skip. But Lizzie doesn't do any of those things. Lizzie decides to go on her own, which is something that she would never do. And like the whole book, you kind of have this contrast of like the old Lizzie and the new Lizzie. Which is pretty... I think like the concept of having a middle-aged female protagonist like rediscovering herself under the guise of bettering herself, and then she comes to find out that wasn't the important thing at all. It's an interesting dynamic that is in a lot of these books.
It is.
So like in her depression, because her husband is skipping their anniversary, essentially, she drinks herself silly on a 9-hour flight to Rome, and while she is going to the bathroom to throw up, she like trips in the aisle and falls into the lap of some like handsome stranger.
As you
And
do.
he's like, as you do in any rom-com, and he's flirting with her, and she's just trying to like brush it off and go to the bathroom and throw up. um, but then when the flight ends and people start to recognize this guy, his name is Ren Sawyer, and he's a pop star. Kind of think like he gave me like Chris Daughtry kind of vibes, even though Chris Daughtry is not a pop star, but like
no,
one of those like Train, like the man's man of pop music,
yeah. Ryan Gosling.
Yeah. And Lizzie is like, she's like in her like mid to late 30s. He's like 28 to 32, I think. And she recognizes this guy because her daughter, who's like 20, that she had when she was 18, had posters of him like in her bedroom growing up. So it's really weird. It was weird for Lizzie. And they just keep bumping into each other. Like, she cannot get rid of this guy, and they end up staying at the same hotel. And they both have baggage. They've both had things happen to them. Lizzie is going through her trauma more recently than Ren has, and they end up in each other's arms, comforting each other the way that adults do in rom-coms. Each person striving to be a people pleaser and to appease the other as much as they can to both of their downfalls. And these two broken people try to be the fix for the other, but they both find out that the only way to fix themselves is to confront their own demons, no matter how far running away from them in the Italian countryside is. And this book really was fun for me to read. I think it was a really fun take on a travel novel that wasn't like a boring, and I do feel very nostalgic for anything like Italian, anything that takes place in Italy, anything that's like this whimsical trip. But I can absolutely tell that this book was not meant for somebody like me who is not disillusioned. Chick lit is such an interesting genre to me because simultaneously it gives women a voice and highlights the feminine emotions, but it also, I feel like it trivializes what is fulfilling to a woman. Like the ending is just almost too sweet. Too many good things are happening to Lizzie, and it feels like the author is trying to convince us that she has a happy ending. Like, yes, she gets the man, but now she has this and this and this and this. She's living her dream, which is also your dream, and it's like, it makes me wonder if I'm just too jaded or if I'm not like old enough to empathize with certain emotions that more sophisticated women than me may have. And then it kind of makes me wonder like how much of this is like an internalized misogyny that like kind of like the book itself isn't making this trivial, but I'm making it trivial and I'm seeing it as a feminine wile when it's actually a really important and empowering story for a woman to tell.
Huh. That's interesting though.
Yeah. Cause like I feel like growing up, like you had like, especially as a girl, you see the stigma surrounding like rom-com movies and chick lit and like the silly smut novels with the guy riding a horse shirtless with like long hair and whatever. And
things that are written for the like quote unquote female gaze.
The female gaze, yeah.
Yeah.
And this book was not, it wasn't smutty, it was nothing like that. But it was just, like I said, like so many good things ended up happening to Lizzie. Almost to the point where it was like, okay, I get it. Like, she's happy now. Things are working out for her. And that could just be, I could just feel that way because I appreciate it when books have a more ambiguous ending.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just because I am recognizing my internalized misogyny. And it kind of makes it not as fun. But nevertheless, I did enjoy this book. There were a couple of like twists and turns and things that I didn't see coming. And I do absolutely want to finish the trilogy. Like I said before, the second book is called That Birthday in Barbados, and the third book is called That Weekend in Paris. And the last little note I put about this book, like, and I cannot stop talking about Taylor Swift, but like the Queen, Taylor says, if a man talks shit, I don't owe him nothing.
That's a quote from Taylor.
That's from Taylor. Logan Stein, when you're listening, Taylor did say that.
Yep. Not censoring that one.
But
can't censor her.
Can't censor the Queen.
No.
It's like when a man sucks, when he is just a POS, it makes infidelity feel so satisfying. And this is another Taylor quote, but that's the thing about illicit affairs, planned destinations and longing stares and morally dubious justice. It's just karma. And obviously, I'm not telling you to go cheat on your partner if they're cheating on you. Obviously not. But that there's just something vindicating about seeing that play out in a book with fake people. And when the characters just get what's coming to them, it is just, it's just satisfying.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's also another jaded side of me where I'm all constantly seeing women being put down and being seen as villains in situations where they're not doing the villainous activities. But I don't know. And maybe that also comes from a place of me trying to justify reading all these books about women cheating on their husbands, because Lizzie does end up having an affair with Ren Sawyer when they're in Italy running away together. But back home, her husband is still in various ways exhibiting infidelity. So it's morally dubious justice, but it's justice nonetheless. That Month in Tuscany by Inglath Cooper. It's romance, it's fiction, it's chick lit, it's travel, it's music, because Ren is a pop star. In case I didn't mention that before, it was first published in 2014, and I am rating it 4 out of 5 lupines. Still a good book, but the ending is just a little bit too feel good for me.
Yeah.
My mention that was number 3. Number 5 is The Rachel Incident. Number 4 that I just finished is The 100 Loves of Juliet, and I am really excited to talk about that book because that's the one that I almost DNF'd, but I persevered and I really liked it. So
nice.
And this is so funny. I wrote a little note about 100 Loves of Juliet when I was still like 40 or some pages in, and I wrote another chicklet, but at least no one has cheated on each other yet. People did cheat on each other.
It always happens.
It's just the Kaylee curse. I can't help it. Yeah. I'm sorry. Does it count if she's like, she filed for divorce, but her husband is unwilling to sign the divorce papers? And then he hires somebody to kidnap her?
I don't think that counts. I mean, technically, legally, it counts.
Technically. But like,
I don't know.
Contextually, I think it's over when he hires somebody to kidnap you.
Yeah, that might be a line when it's that over. They crossed.
That's when the papers are signed.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's February 7th.
Yeah.
We just talked about a rom-com-ish movie, some chicklet.
Yeah.
It's Valentine's Day. It's a month of love.
Yeah.
February, love month.
Yeah. For people that are in relationships.
Yep. And like, I've been with my partner for 4 years.
Wow, already?
Almost 4.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I met him when I was a freshman. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But we literally are not doing anything for Valentine's Day. Yet. I do feel a bit guilty because this weekend is Galentine's weekend. And I'm going to the city with one of my girlfriends, and we're just having a good old Galentine's time in Chicago.
Nice. That's nice.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. But part of me is just like super guilty because I'm leaving him here, but he doesn't care.
Yeah, I don't think he would care.
He does not care, and he's like, we've had discussions about how he thinks that I should. No, I'm going to rephrase that. I just need to hang out with more of my friends.
Yeah.
And he gets that. Yeah. And he like wants me to be fulfilled and feel fulfilled with my friends.
That's a really healthy mindset.
Mm-hmm.
That's really healthy. Really,
yeah. And that's something that's really important to him with his friends. Yeah. And I see that. And I see how happy that makes him. And I'm like, wow, I need that.
Yeah. There are too many times where a significant other will be limiting in that, and you don't get to see any of your friends, and that's really tough.
That's toxic. And there have been times where he's like has had input about some of my friends that I have like I solicit it. I'm like, what do you think about this? And then he'll be honest. Mm-hmm. And like 9 times out of 10, like I trust his judgment, and he's like, it's been like pretty rare instances where like some people have like crossed the line, and it was like I wasn't really bold enough to say anything until I had like somebody else agreeing with me. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, it's always good to get another person's judgment on things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then even like Valentine's Day is on a Wednesday.
And it's also on Ash Wednesday.
It's on Ash Wednesday. What am I supposed to do on Ash Wednesday?
Yeah.
That's just not fair. But yeah, I think just this year I've been so busy like working, and the time has just been flying, and I haven't had a lot of time to like dedicate to my own hobbies. It's kind of sad, but it's okay.
Yeah. Work-life balance it takes a bit to figure that out.
Yeah. Yeah, all that to say, Valentine's Day will be very chill for me. And I'm okay with that. I think we both just want some chill time, and there's other weekends. Mm-hmm. We want to do something next weekend, we can. If we don't, we can do it the next weekend.
And with it being on a Wednesday, like
it kind of just throws a wrench into everything. Yeah.
But I'm not doing anything for Valentine's Day either.
Why is that?
I don't know.
You know what that means, ladies?
No.
Logan's DMs are open for business.
Woo.
Woo.
Yippee.
Yippee. The awkward part of the show. Well, if you're listening to this and you either know us IRL or you don't know us IRL, well, actually, maybe don't slide into the DMs if you don't know us IRL, because that could be weird. But
that would
be the new age
weird.
of online dating is podcasting.
Yep. Maybe there's another local podcast that
that has one coupled podcaster and one single podcaster.
Yeah.
So, if you're listening to this and you're wondering, I wonder if I'm Logan's type, we're about to find out. Thanks to good old BuzzFeed.
Yeah, BuzzFeed.
All right, Logan. So I'm going to take you through this quiz, and we're going to find out who your type is.
Okay.
You ready?
Whoop-de-doo.
All right. I'm just going to read. I'm just going to start reading. There's a couple paragraphs. Let's face it. Finding your soulmate is hard.
Yep.
There are literally billions of people in this world, and combing through them to find your perfect match is a daunting task.
It is.
Beneath that is a gif of Andy Bernard saying, "This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. I haven't had a very hard life." That's why it's super helpful to know your type. It doesn't mean that you're always going to date the same sort of person, but identifying the qualities that are important to you is a great place to start.
All right, let's begin.
So
what
are you waiting for?
Let's do
Find
it.
out your type right now.
All right.
So, what's the key to making a relationship last? Trust, making time for each other, similar values, communication, spicy chemistry, being able to compromise. I don't want to say that.
Yeah. I don't think it's that one. The other ones, though.
Yeah, the other ones are important.
Yeah. I think I'm going to get rid of similar values, though.
Okay, real.
I feel like I'm a cool, chill enough person where, like, yeah, I want some values to be similar, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty chill. They don't all have to be the exact same.
Yeah. And then, like, you build your relationship talking about those differences.
Yeah. And if you're both open-minded as well. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But I don't think that's the most important thing to make it last.
Yeah.
I think it's probably communication.
Coming from the comm major, I'm not surprised.
Because communication encapsulates all those other things as well.
Yeah. You can't compromise if you can't
communicate. You can trust each other. You can clearly communicate the time you need for each other. Communicate your values, your compromises. It all boils down to communication.
Even the spicy stuff is communication.
I guess.
But that doesn't happen until marriage.
Yep.
Anyway, moving on. What physical feature do you find the most attractive? We did not think this through. I'm just gonna leave off the adjectives because this is very objectifying.
Yeah,
but
it is.
We have lips, eyes, hair, eyebrows, skin, smile.
Oh gosh. That's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
I don't care about eyebrows.
I was gonna say I'm kind of PO'd that eyebrows is on the list because eyebrows are hard to maintain. Okay.
Yeah. Like
try being an Italian girl and having eyebrows. It's not easy.
Clear skin, I also don't really care about all that much. Lips, I definitely don't care about them, especially with the adjective they have.
Yeah, that's icky.
Full
it's
lips?
Just really objectifying. Okay, BuzzFeed, I'll go get lip fillers now. Thanks.
If there wasn't the adjective, I would probably go with eyes.
Okay.
But with the adjective there, I don't think I can.
That's not what you're looking for.
No. Because I do think that eyes are very important. They really show a lot of a person.
The gateway to the soul.
Yeah.
The windows to the soul.
But the way they have it described here is not that.
No.
Spicy eyes.
Not everything has to be spicy, BuzzFeed.
Yeah. So it's either between hair or a smile. I mean, I've got the good hair, so.
You have enough hair for the couple.
Yeah, I really do. My hair is so thick.
When's the last time you got a haircut?
November.
Oh my god.
Thanksgiving.
That's crazy. I'm getting one tomorrow and I'm kind of nervous, but.
Yeah. Well, I'm also trying to grow my hair out now. So,
oh, okay. Are you gonna do a mullet?
No.
Oh, okay.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
I'm thinking that right now.
I feel.
Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
I do need to get it like maintained though.
Right. That's very important. Trims are important.
Yep. But I honestly kind of think for this, it might be the smile.
The smile?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's probably going to be the smile. A good smile helps a lot.
A smile is important. Yeah.
Dental
doesn't have
health.
to be like
Dental health is important.
Doesn't have to be a perfect smile.
No.
You know, just brush your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's something that lights up the room.
Smile when you're happy. You know, that kind of a thing. Yeah. All right. What mountainous region would you like to visit with a partner? So you have the Rocky Mountains, the Swiss Alps, the fjords of Norway, the Andes, the Himalayas, and the Hindu Kush.
Well, I think the Rockies would probably be the cheapest to go to.
Okay.
But
if
also,
cost wasn't an option.
I don't know if they're the most beautiful.
Right.
I think I'm going to cut out those bottom three, the Andes, Himalayas, and Hindu Kush. I think I'm going to cut those out.
Okay.
One, Himalayas, those are too tall. They're too tall.
Too tall.
Like, yeah, Everest and whatnot, but it's just snow and rock. That's it. And trash.
You see one snow and rock and you've seen them all.
Yeah. Like some diversity in my biomes, you know, good biodiversity.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably between the Alps and the fjords.
Right. That makes sense.
It's also in Europe.
I was thinking one of those two. I thought you would pick one of those two for sure.
I'm going to look up more pictures of them. I don't think those two do them justice. All right. What do we have here? Okay. Okay. Some decent biodiversity. Good amount of green, good amount of snow. Bit smaller of a mountain range.
Size doesn't matter.
Okay.
We are talking about mountains here.
Yep, mountains. They do look...
I'm so much funnier inside my head.
All right, the Alps look pretty.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Central Europe. But let's look up the fjords of Norway.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Is Norway winning?
I think so. Because you can also see the Northern Lights there.
Oh.
That's a big one.
That's a big ups.
Yeah, that's going to the fjords. Gonna go back to my Viking roots, you know.
I think I would pick the fjords too, because I love Scandinavia.
Yeah.
All right. Describe your personality in one word. Fun, social, deep, reserved, nice, bookish.
Crazy.
Chaos.
Well, I'm definitely not social.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't think I'm bookish.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I can be a little bit reserved at times.
Mm-hmm. But is that the most
consistent?
Yeah.
I'm pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get to know me. Nice. Yeah, but I just kind of try to treat everyone with kindness and compassion. I think that's just kind of a general thing that people should do.
Right.
Deep. I mean, I am a poet.
Yeah, I feel like first impression wise, I think somebody would pick deep.
Yeah. Thoughtful.
Yeah. Considerate.
Intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
Intelligent.
You hear that, ladies? Intelligent.
Super villain.
You hear that, ladies? Super villain.
I'm Megamind.
You hear that, ladies? Megamind.
Or Gru.
You hear that, ladies? Gru. All right, Gru. Which one's it gonna be?
Deep.
Deep.
For sure.
Okay. What's an ideal food to have on a date? Sushi, spaghetti, fondue, tacos, pho, or steak?
Get fondue out of here. Ain't no one doing fondue anymore.
Here. Get out of here, fondue.
What do you think you are?
The early 2000s? Get out of here.
I don't think pho would be for me, at least.
I get that.
Steak is good, but I don't know if that's the best for first date.
Right.
I feel like that might be a little too good sometimes.
That's like fourth or fifth
third
date.
At least. Third at least. I feel like.
Reach.
Depending on what type of dates you go on.
I hear you.
Because I feel like I might prefer like actually going and doing something. But definitely like getting food is a part of it.
Yeah. And if it's like a designated dinner date, then
yeah,
that's one thing. But I don't know. I feel like dates can honestly be like
they're very subjective.
Very subjective. Like I think sitting on the couch and watching anime is a date.
Yeah. But like first date is like you want to get to know them. You know, it's like what's a good food where like you get to really know someone.
Burgers and beer. That was my first date.
Beverages. Burgers and beverages.
Oh shoot, I'm sorry. I forgot. Oh goodness. Well then afterwards, I'm not from here. He is. And he was like, oh, let's go to the Perry farm. And I was like, okay, cool. I didn't think about it at the time, but it was like 9:00 by the time we got done at Burgers and Beer. It was dark out. And we walked around the trails at the berry farms when it was dark, and I thought for sure he was going to kill me. He did not kill me. Spoiler alert.
Whoa.
But
never
I was like,
guessed.
wow, Kaylee, you did not think this through. And then like we got back to the car, and he was like, yeah, I did not think this through.
All right. I think I'm going to get rid of sushi as well.
Okay.
Mainly because there's not a bunch of good sushi places here. Not a lot of good seafood.
You're going very practical.
Yeah, because it's Kansas.
It's Kansas.
We don't got no oceans.
There's not a koi in Kansas.
So I think that really leaves tacos and spaghetti.
I feel like practically.
I'm feeling tacos.
You're feeling tacos. Okay.
Yeah. Like it's a little bit different than traditional first date, I think. And there's honestly actually like a lot of really good like Mexican, Hispanic food in the area. So I'm leaning tacos. Because spaghetti feels more like Olive Garden. Like
that's true.
It is a little bit fancier, but it's like middle class fancy.
Like, yeah, it's like you go to some place like Olive Garden, or you go to like some really upscale Italian joint. Like that's your only two options for spaghetti.
Like tacos, you can find like an authentic like Mexican restaurant.
So good.
Yeah. Like there's a Cuban restaurant fairly close to me. That's also like really good. They've got good Cuban food. Like there's a lot of pretty good food. Honestly, the real answer would probably be barbecue.
Oh, that's true.
Because we got a real good barbecue here.
Because when in Kansas, you do ask the Kansans.
Barbecue.
Okay.
But yeah,
Which personality? Oh, sorry.
Tacos are good.
Tacos are good. Which personality trait is a total turnoff?
Oh,
Dishonesty, selfishness, vanity, cockiness, terrible manners, aloofness.
all of the above.
All of the above. Which one is like the absolute worst?
Oh gosh,
They all kind of suck.
they really do.
Like, I can deal with vanity, I think.
Yeah,
I can deal with aloofness.
yeah, for sure.
'Cause I'm
Terrible
aloof
manners, I feel like you can kind of learn those depending on the person. But also
Yes.
at the same time, like if you're just like really rude, then that's a no-go.
I feel like if you're really rude, that plays into like the other three haven't
Uh-huh.
ruled out.
Because like if you're selfish, you have terrible manners.
Yeah.
If you're dishonest, you have
You
terrible
have
manners.
terrible manners.
I feel like it's probably terrible manners that do it for me, or
Okay.
don't do it for me.
Don't do okay. Okay.
Yeah.
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 Like, oh yeah, I get that. Okay.
Ryan Gosling.
This last question, I'm not even gonna.
No. The answer is food.
Answer is food.
Answer is food.
That should be like the episode poll question. Food or sex? Which one?
Food.
Okay. So your type, Logan, is the total babe. You love have someone
You
who
love
is
have
easy.
someone.
You love have someone who is easy on the eyes. You are a connoisseur of beauty, and you know exactly what you want. Eye candy makes you feel dandy.
And they've got a picture of me.
Yeah, a gif of Zac Efron flexing.
Yeah, totally me.
Was this a quiz for women or for men?
I mean, it's BuzzFeed. It's probably for women.
Because I thought it was for men, but this gif of Zac Efron
it's really confusing
is making me think otherwise.
Yeah. Easy on the eyes sounds like a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, because like you're not ugly enough to be painful to look at.
But you're not hot.
You're not hot enough to make like hard eyes and jaw drop on the floor and awooga and
awooga.
awooga. Like that was kind of stuck, not gonna lie.
I don't think we found my real type.
I don't think we found your real type. Let's do.
Guess we gotta find another quiz now.
Let's do this one. This free quiz can show you which personality type best describes your dream partner.
Okay.
Okay.
Send that to me. So I can follow along.
Yes. It's it's longer.
Okay. Might be more accurate then.
Might be more accurate.
Yeah. Oh, over 1 million tests taken in the last 30 days.
What's 1 million miserable people ahead of Valentine's Day?
Get wrecked.
Get wrecked. Okay.
Okay, so choose the answer that best describes how your ideal partner would act.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, loves a good party.
Probably never. Full never. I'm not a party person.
No.
I don't think it would be good for me to be with a party person. I feel like that would just be frustrating.
I get that. I skipped one. Enjoys going to museums and cultural events.
Ooh. I like that. I like museums.
I like that. Museums are cool.
Yeah. I think I'll probably put usually for that one.
Okay. Because some days you might not be feeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like there's some days where you just kind of want to chill at home.
You just want to chill. I hear that. Likes to talk about feelings and emotions.
Ooh. I
I
feel like I
do.
would probably need that.
Yeah.
Hmm. Usually or always? Probably usually, because I don't think it would be good to always be talking about that.
That makes sense. Likes to keep a schedule.
Probably going to be usually as well.
Mm.
That might help me as well.
Yeah.
Because like I like to stick to a typical schedule.
Uh-huh.
I don't like to be like super spontaneous,
Yeah.
but sometimes I do have a little bit of trouble sticking to that schedule. Having someone that actually does might help.
Keeps up a steady stream of conversation.
So if they're always conversing, I don't know if I would like that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes silence is good,
Mm-hmm.
but also like they can actually keep a conversation. And
I
one
think
of the
that would be a
things that I
usually.
hate is when someone just doesn't keep a conversation. They
Mm.
only give like one word responses, or like they just smile and wave essentially. Smile and
Mm-hmm.
nod.
Mm-hmm.
So I
I
feel
get
like
that.
that's probably going to be usually again.
Likes to talk about intellectual things like art and philosophy.
Always.
Always.
I'm
Yeah.
always down to talk about that.
This one is interesting. Agrees with me to keep the peace.
I'm going to go rarely.
Yeah, that's I don't know. I get like there's some topics where
Yeah.
like it's not worth it to die on the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Just let it go. But like always agreeing with me just to keep the peace is not.
It's not good grounds for good communication and a good relationship.
Yeah. Like I would not want to always agree with my partner just to keep the
Yeah.
peace. Like that.
And like
I wish
sometimes
you
you
I
need
wish you
to
would sometimes, but
like sometimes you need to have those arguments,
yeah.
have those discussions.
Because if you're not talking about it now, you're going to have to talk about it when it poses a bigger problem
Yep.
later down the line. Yeah. Keeps a very clean house. I think I'm going to go usual
Yeah,
because,
usual.
like,
Because like I'm
I
fine with a
don't.
little bit of clutter, but I
Yeah.
do like to keep things pretty clean. Like if they're keeping very clean, that might be a little too much.
Hmm. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm in like a hospital room or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to feel like I actually live in the space,
Hmm.
not live out of it.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That's such a good way to put it.
Hmm.
It's a social butterfly.
Sometimes I think.
Yeah. Because it gets to the point where it would be like, you're talking to everybody else. Why aren't you talking to me?
Yeah. Like it if I'm tagging along with them, that would help me because I'm not the most social.
Yeah.
I don't want them to be so social that they're ignoring me.
Right. Like they have like some other place to be
Hmm.
all the time.
Yeah.
Loves to travel to exotic places.
Ooh. I would like to travel to more exotic places,
Mm-hmm.
but is that realistic?
Yeah.
Like if
Trying to think of like is this quiz assuming that travel is always accessible
yeah,
and always an option for the couple, or is it just like
because like if it's not, which I don't make a ton of money. Like I'm not able
yeah,
to just go out to
you
Europe.
can't drop everything and go to
Yeah,
Europe.
I
Yeah.
can't do that. I would like to sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like just take a vacation somewhere, go do something fun in another part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. Like, I would love to explore the world, but I don't know if I would really enjoy it.
Yeah. So maybe that's like a sometime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they would be willing to travel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than, like, always wanting to go travel, which would be very
Right.
expensive.
That may like you're accounting for that balance.
Because like, one travel that I would want to do would be, like, the Paris
Mhm.
Olympics this year. I'm not going, obviously,
Ooh,
because it's super expensive. Like, that would be something I would want to do.
that would be like a good hypothetical
Mhm.
scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would want a partner to do that if it is accessible, but you don't
Uh-huh.
want to put financial stress into the
Yes.
equation because you're that eager to travel.
Yeah. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
experiences are important to have, but also so is having a financial future.
Yeah. Good way to put it. Okay.
That kind of goes with the next question.
Yeah, I was gonna say along the same vein is more logical than emotional.
Again, you have to have that balance
Yeah.
sometimes then.
Cause like if I don't have like if it's so logical to the point where it feels transactional, that's
Mhm.
where I like that's not a relationship to me.
Yeah. 'Cause, like, there's
Has
some
strict
things that
so
you have to
sorry.
be logical with, some things
Yeah,
that you have to use your heart and emotions with.
right. And then like discernment is knowing which is which.
Mhm.
Has strict systems for staying organized.
Well, I have loose systems for staying organized. I would consider myself a pretty organized person.
Mhm.
I feel like if they're strict systems for being
Strict
organized, that might
sounds
be a bit much.
scary. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
It
again,
sounds
it's
scary.
the, I wanna live in a house, not out of it.
Right.
I feel like sometimes it can be useful, though.
Like I don't want to be walking on eggshells,
Mhm.
but I want to be living in a place, you know?
Yeah. Like, maybe you don't do the dishes one night and, like, it's fine.
Like, oh well.
Do them the next night versus, like, everything has to be put away exactly every single night just so you can get it out again in the morning.
Yeah,
That'd definitely be a sometimes for me.
I get that. I feel like I would rate it higher if strict wasn't in
Yeah. If it didn't say strict,
the
it would
thing.
probably be usually.
Yeah, it would be way different.
Mhm.
Okay, next step. Please wait. Okay. Prefers to be quiet.
Ooh,
Ugh.
sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think I would like.
Because there is a value in quietness,
Yes, absolutely.
but also there's a quietness in quietness. Like, there's a
There's a
tensity.
void. Yeah.
Like, sometimes you wanna be quiet, and sometimes, like, have a conversation, do some things together.
Yeah. Like, are there some times where I prefer to be quiet? Yeah, but like I
Mhm.
don't want to always be quiet, I
Yeah,
guess. If we need to talk, then we make the space to do so.
yeah.
Also, if we don't need to talk, there's space to not talk, you know? Goes both ways. Okay. Is very curious about the world.
Mm. This could go 2 ways. So it could either be
Yeah.
from a place of genuine curiosity and wanting to learn,
Hmm.
or it could be from naivety, being naive.
Oh.
So this one's tricky.
No, this whole quiz is tricky.
I feel like this one is probably coming for like a place of genuine curiosity, like a wanting to learn.
Yeah.
Which if that's the case, then it's always.
Yeah.
And even if it is like from a place of being naive,
Like you
I don't think
still
that's
like are eager
bad.
to learn. Yeah.
Yeah, like you still have a drive to learn. Like you have that curiosity, but it's coming from a place of just complete not understanding and needing to understand versus like kind of understanding
Wanting
and
to.
wanting to understand more.
Yeah. Kind of going off of that. Next one is sensitive,
Ooh.
which is tough because like they're sensitive to where you're empathetic to others'
Uh-huh.
emotions,
And then they're sensitive where every little thing will hurt them.
which is me, which sucks.
Yeah.
I I think I'm gonna put usually just because I don't know.
Well, I think
I'd rather
being
deal with too sensitive than
Mhm. Yeah, I agree with
unsensitive.
that.
Yeah.
I'd probably put usually. And like I am a bit more sensitive as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like either way that would probably be good.
Is very punctual.
Hmm. I used to be a lot more punctual. I've been
Me
slipping on that
too.
lately. Need to fix that.
I think yeah, I'm gonna put usual. No, I'll put usually.
Yeah, because you don't want to be too punctual
Yeah.
sometimes.
I don't want to be
Like,
anal about it, but
I don't want to be 4 hours early to the airport.
mm-hmm.
But it's like I don't
Like
want to be running through the airport 20 minutes before
yeah.
my flight leaves.
I want to be punctual in a productive way, not in a way that's going to induce anxiety.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's also like a respect of time as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like punctual in the way that like you're not going to force everybody else to be early, but you're not going to be a hindrance.
Hmm.
But you're not going to obsess about it because if things happen, then they happen. But like be understanding when they happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next one has many friends.
Hmm. I don't know.
That's really
Because, like, on one hand, that's great,
yeah.
especially like if I can join them, like, make new friends with them essentially.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause, like, I don't have a ton of friends. But also, like, I feel like people that have like a ton of friends, like a ton of friends, just a little weird.
Yeah.
Like, you're just friends with everybody, but you're not super close to many of them.
Yeah. Like you don't have like an inner group of
Mhm. Like,
people.
you don't have those really close, tight knit friends.
Mm-hmm. You don't have your ride or dies.
Yeah. So I feel like this might be a rarely.
Hmm.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah,
Makes
because it
sense.
depends on the situation,
Mm-hmm.
like how close
Like
they are
if
and everything.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Has a complex mind.
Always.
Preach.
Yep. I love intelligence.
You hear that, ladies?
Yep.
He loves intelligence. Um, next one says doesn't compete with me.
Mm,
I'm gonna put usually.
really?
I don't deal well with competition. I don't. I don't like competing. I don't want it to be like a race between
Uh-huh.
us. Like who does what first, who,
Yeah, I can see that.
kind of a thing.
I'm
I just don't do well with
yeah.
that.
I'm thinking more like competing to improve ourselves
Okay.
in a sense. Or
Like
like competing in video games. So I'm gonna go with sometimes on this one.
I hear you.
Because like sometimes, yeah, I want to like compete with them.
And it's like more of a like it's less of a rivalry and
Yeah.
more of
Building each other
like,
up.
Yeah. It's predictable. But usually, because sometimes surprises are fun.
I'm gonna go with sometimes. Because
You like more spontaneity.
predictability leads to mundane.
Oh, okay.
It's like if something's predictable, it just kind of becomes the norm.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's good to have that, like a good routine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's good to be spontaneous sometimes.
Yeah. Because when it gets stale, it's just, yeah. Likes a lot of alone time.
Ooh, that's tough. Because I also like a lot of alone time.
Well, that would work well. In theory.
Exactly. In theory. I feel like that'd be sometimes. Like you want to be able to have your boundaries, also not have your boundaries be so large that you never interact with each other.
You don't want to alienate each other, don't want to isolate.
Yeah. Yeah, probably sometimes then.
Yeah. Is loyal to traditions.
Ooh. Ooh.
Because there's like the endearing
it depends
nostalgia.
on the tradition, though.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm probably gonna go with usually on that one. Just because I think it's good to be able to have those.
Remember to make your own traditions.
Yeah.
Avoids conflict.
Oh, no. I'm gonna go with rarely, though.
I'm gonna do sometimes because I just don't do well with conflict, which is probably why I should have more exposure to it. But
yeah, because when you completely avoid conflict, then you can't handle it.
Yeah.
And it's good to have conflict, be able to have healthy discussions. Sometimes it does take confrontation, and that can be difficult, but you can get through it. You'll most likely be alive at the end of it. Unless it takes a really bad turn.
And like, I don't know, the thing that we do is that whenever we like we avoid fighting in the sense that we won't have those discussions if one of us is angry about the same thing or something else.
Yeah.
Which is like good and bad. Like in the moment I get miffed because I'm like, why aren't we talking about this? Why is this not important? Whatever. But like in my experience, it has always worked so far.
Yeah.
And I think it's always led to a better outcome than like if we did hash it out when we're both upset. So like there's this side of avoiding like don't avoid the discussions that could cause conflict,
but wait
like avoiding
until
fighting.
Yeah, avoid the fighting.
Yeah.
And just kind of wait until you're collected more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
also
don't really
be a conflicting person.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might bump that up to sometimes.
Like don't instigate anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like I'm guilty of that. I'll try to pick a fight, and then he's like, "No, we're not gonna do this." Like you go take a nap, and we'll talk about it when you feel better.
Go eat some food.
Like that. Literally, that is just what helps.
Yeah.
And then like we like never have fights because we do that. So I'm okay with that. I like that. Like, obviously, you don't want to fight with your partner, but you want to deal with conflict in a healthy way that is productive and puts you at a place better than you were before.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one, put work before play.
Ooh. Probably usually. Because I think having a good work ethic is important.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Being able
yeah,
to focus
true.
on that work that needs to be done before going and playing.
Before goofing off.
Yeah. But sometimes it's good to be able to take breaks, play a little bit, take some breaks from work, kind of reset your brain.
Mm-hmm. Have an outlet is important.
Because you can't always focus on work. It's too draining.
Yeah.
Plus, for potential future partner, you would most likely be the breadwinner in the house, by the way. Because I don't make a ton of money.
Hear that, ladies?
Yeah.
You get to be the breadwinner.
Female empowerment.
Woo!
Woo!
This is like Casey Musgrave sing about. So the next step is to put in your personality. I actually know mine because I took my test a couple months ago.
I know mine as well.
I am INFJT.
I'm INFJ as well.
Gosh, I don't know what any of this means.
So it's
introverted,
right? Intuitive, feeling,
Mm.
judging. It's like introverted versus extroverted is like how you get your energy.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's like from being by yourself versus being around
with
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Intuitive, because this is the Myers-Briggs personality types. So it's sensors versus intuitives. So N is intuitive, S is sensor. Sensors are realistic, focused on like facts and details, common sense stuff. Intuitives like to do like more big picture stuff. Be more creative. And then T versus F, thinkers or feelers. So we're feelers. We tend to be sensitive and cooperative, decide on own personal values, and how others will be affected by those actions. Thinkers use like more logic, analysis, like weigh the pros and cons. And then judgers and perceivers. Judgers are like organized, prepared, typically stick to plans. Perceivers like to keep options open, like they're more spontaneous. So
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I got my ideal partner's personality is ENFJ.
Huh.
So introverted, so just the opposite of mine.
Mine was INFJ.
You got the same one.
Yeah.
Which like makes sense because like we get along with people who are like us.
Yeah. But I don't know if that's actually what I would want.
Yeah.
I feel like I might lean more towards like an ENFJ at times.
Because you need that extroverted energy to pull you out. Yeah.
Becoming romantically involved with an INFJ means being wrapped in a protective cocoon of love. INFJs lead with their hearts and never want their partners to feel neglected or unappreciated. And they will seldom let a day pass without expressing their devotion and affection.
That's so true.
They are perfectionists who want to build fantastic, meaningful relationships, and they never stop trying to be more caring, attentive, and involved in their companions' lives. INFJs can be a bit intense when discussing relationship issues, but that comes from their fierce determination to create a loving union that will prosper for a lifetime. INFJs have high expectations for themselves and others and are prone to feeling let down or disappointed. but they hate arguments and prefer to adjust their expectations rather than give their significant others a hard time. They're also great listeners and encourage the people they love to open up and share their feelings in order to promote greater understanding and a deeper romantic connection. Gentleness and warmth is the default position for INFJs in love, and while they may have some moments of doubt, they never stay upset with their companions for long.
Oh, that's so true.
That really is.
That is so true.
I guess this personality type thing really feeds into my ego, huh? Just want to date myself.
Yeah. You hear that, ladies? He wants to date himself.
Yeah. Oh.
Be exactly like Logan and you're his type. No, I'm kidding.
The downsides, though. In general, the INFJ aversion to conflict is a good thing, but sometimes in human relations, there are important issues that must be hashed out, and INFJs are so anxious to sweep everything under the rug that it may prevent critical discussions from taking place.
Dang.
They have a difficult time seeing the benefits of frank, honest conversation if things have a chance of becoming heated. Fearing such interactions will sabotage their goal of creating a perfect, stress-free relationship. Oof.
And like that's the thing, no relationship is ever going to be stress-free.
Yeah. I feel like this is where I am better at, because I'm okay with having those discussions.
Mhm.
Because like a relationship should have some stress, not much,
But just some, because you're two humans
yeah.
in relationship together,
Mhm.
you know.
Like, yeah, you will have, like, you should strive for stress-free,
Mhm.
but there will be moments of stress.
Yeah, there always are, and that's okay.
Yeah. But how do I meet an INFJ? INFJ is the rarest type in the population.
But there's 2 of them on this podcast.
Whoa. Well, I've got my work cut out for me. You're unlikely to meet an INFJ by chance, but you can increase your odds by seeking them out in their natural habitat,
What is that natural habitat?
their home.
Just go door to door.
INFJs are often idealistic. You may encounter them by volunteering for local nonprofit organizations. Wait a minute. I work at a nonprofit,
Hey.
especially charities that serve underprivileged groups and those devoted to supporting the arts. Okay,
Ooh,
now come on.
now we're
This isn't
talking.
fair.
Why?
I make videos. That's part of the arts
Yeah,
in a
that's good.
nonprofit organization. They're really calling me out here. INFJ is a particularly literary type, maybe found in
Oh.
libraries, bookstores, or book discussion groups.
Oh.
Oh. Wow. They got me nailed right on the head. In the professional world, INFJs are often involved in healthcare, education, and the arts. In school, they typically study the humanities or social sciences.
Oh my god.
And if all else fails, try posting in the discussion area of this site. Although INFJs are rare in the general population, they tend to frequent websites about personality type.
Did it actually say that?
Yeah, it does.
Oh my gosh, it's calling you out.
It really is.
Oh my gosh.
It's our ego, the INFJ ego. It's too big.
That's crazy. That is so crazy that it said they're studying humanities and social science.
Yeah.
I feel called out by that one.
Yep. I
Oh my
think
gosh.
communications would also fall under those.
Oh, it absolutely does.
Yeah.
Communications is absolutely a social science.
Yep.
Absolutely. That's all sociology.
Wow, they really called me out there. Wow.
That's kind of embarrassing.
Ooh. Huh. What a way to end the podcast.
Damn, that's crazy. I asked Jake what his was, and he said, "This may come as a shock, but most of the time INTJ, rarely ISTJ."
Okay.
I'm like,
I can see
okay,
that.
I can see that, and I'm like trying to keep up with all these acronyms.
Yeah.
I think he has all of them memorized because I told him mine, and he was like, "The advocate, of course." I'm like, how do you know that?
Yeah. INFJ is the advocate.
What's the autist?
The autist?
Odd, is that what that means?
Like autism?
Is that what he INT did he just say that?
Or artist?
I think he means artist.
I don't think he
No
means
way.
autist.
I think he means
I think he means
architect.
artist.
I think he means
Or architect.
I think he means architect. I'm gonna ask him, do you mean art? I can't even spell arc. I can't even say it. I can't spell it. Arc. Tit. Tech. Do you mean art attack? This is about to be so funny. Same thing. No, it's not the same thing. No, it's not.
There's not an artist.
There's not an audit.
There's an architect, which is INTJ.
Yeah, that's his. Sometimes ISTJ.
Which would be logistician. Logistician?
Logistician? It's the logistician. I have to Google what autist means now.
It's gonna tell you autism.
Yeah, it does. I don't think he knows what he's talking about. I just found a Reddit thread and r/ISTJ about the connection to autism. Apparently, INTJs are known to have connections to autism more than ISTJs.
That's interesting.
That's crazy. That's insane.
What does the INFJ Reddit have?
Anyone else feel like they have to upkeep an image? I feel like I constantly have to appear reliable or helpful to others, even motherly in a way.
It's weird.
Sometimes I let myself go and be more childish or jokey, but by the next day I'm embarrassed. Me. That's so me. Why do I think everyone always hates me?
That's a mood.
That's so weird. Oh my goodness.
So I guess INFJs, we have big
That's
egos,
crazy.
but we also think that everyone hates us.
That makes sense. That's so
Yeah.
true. Somebody in r/INFJ asked, "What are you reading now?" And somebody responded, "Confessions by Augustine." And I'm like, yep. That's so INFJ. Oh my goodness. Well,
I hear someone crushing on an INFJ girl.
oh my god. Run away.
How can you win the heart of an INFJ? You can't.
You can't. That heart belongs to like 6 other men. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Or just talk to them.
Just talk to them.
Wow. We don't like to talk to people, but if you come and talk to us, we'll talk. We'll talk.
Yeah. We'll talk for
Trust
hours.
me, we'll talk.
You will not shut us up.
Yep.
Guess talking about something we like. Ooh. Me earlier talking about ghosts. Well, anyways, ladies, if you're an INFJ, slide into Logan's DMs.
Yeah. I think honestly, if you're in the diplomat or the explorers category, we'd probably get along.
Dang.
So that would be advocate, INFJ, mediator, INFP, protagonist, ENFJ, campaigner, ENFP. Those are the diplomats or the explorers. Virtuoso, ISTP, adventurer, ISFP, entrepreneur, ESTP, and entertainer, ESFP. I feel like we'll probably get along, especially if you're another INFJ.
It will go very well.
Yeah. Feed my ego. There's also the Enneagram.
I know absolutely nothing about Enneagram. I've never taken the Enneagram.
Yeah. I don't know much about it, but I know it's fairly popular.
Yeah.
But I don't know a ton about it. It's been a long time since I've taken a test for that too, so I don't even know if it's accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the thing. People change.
Yeah, that's so true.
Sometimes.
Like, yeah, Jake switches from N to S sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on the need.
Depends on the need.
Yep.
Now I found a web page a while ago that was just a database of anime characters' personality types.
I think this site also has INFJs that you might know. You got people like Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa, Marie Kondo, Lady Gaga, Nicole Kidman, Morgan Freeman, Goth, Jeff, Goth, Goth.
Oh.
That guy. And we've also got Jon Snow.
Nice.
James Wilson from House MD.
I saw that and I giggled.
Aragorn, Lord of the Rings. Galadriel, Lord of the Rings. Tom Kirkman, Designated Survivor. Rose Bucketa from Titanic. Desmond Hume from Lost. Aramis, The Three Musketeers. Michael Schofield, Prison Break. Matthew Murdock, Daredevil. And my favorite, Atticus Finch from To Kill a Mockingbird. Yep.
Yep.
Ideal role model right there.
Atticus Finch.
And if you've seen the film, yeah. He's real cool.
I haven't seen any adaptations of To Kill a Mockingbird.
Really?
I know I should. But yeah, I've just never seen them.
I don't even think there's been that many adaptations. Like, I think there's only been the one in the 60s.
I thought there was a more... No, I'm thinking of the Scopes Monkey Trial movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one from 62, it's very good.
Yeah. I need to watch it.
A coming-of-age legal drama crime film. You have to buy it to watch it, though.
Oh,
Doesn't look like it's streaming anywhere.
It's probably on YouTube somewhere.
Oh, absolutely. But it might be a good enough movie to actually buy.
Yeah.
It seems like it's probably pretty cheap to buy, too.
Yeah. I can't wait till it's public domain. That'll be a fun year.
Oh, I can rent it for free right now.
Dubs.
We should watch it on a stream. Discuss it.
That would be fun.
Like a podcast episode.
I'd be down.
Yeah. Well, I bet it's free because a lot of teachers use it.
Yeah. It's just like, once it's a classroom supplement and it's disseminated that way, you can't really charge.
Oh, wait. 1996, To Kill a Mockingbird. A Time to Kill.
Oh. What?
I think they did like a colored version as well. Not colored version. Not no. Don't.
I know it's
A version in color. Because the original is in black and white.
Yeah.
But have you like read the book before?
I haven't read the book.
You haven't read the book either?
No.
Oh man.
I know. My public school failed me. I think the only classic I was ever assigned to read, honest to God, the only one I remember was um Scarlet Letter.
Really?
Sorry, I couldn't think of it.
Huh.
Yeah. I still do that.
To Kill a Mockingbird was one of my favorites from school. It was really good.
Well, a lot of like the school, like I didn't read Lord of the Flies. So I didn't have to read. Yeah, I didn't have to read a lot of them because I took
Bro,
like
that
the
is like
AP
my
classes
favorite.
and
Lord of the Flies is so good.
okay, but have
It
you
just
read
goes
Heart
insane.
of Darkness? I know, Chris, stuff goes down.
Yeah.
But Heart of Darkness is such a good book.
Mhm.
I love Heart of Darkness.
Then
So good. Joseph Conrad.
The Outsiders, I think it is. It's the one with like the greasers.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Pony Boy and
Yeah,
Soda.
Pony Boy. That one's a good one.
Yeah.
1984. Read that one in college, actually.
I read Animal Farm in like 8th grade.
I saw the animated film of that.
Did you have to read Hatchet?
I don't think so.
Did you have to read Julie of the Wolves?
Nope.
Where the Red Fern Grows?
Aww.
That one's a classic.
That one's good.
Traumatizing kids since 6th grade. That one's a classic.
Mm-hmm. One book that I thought I would have liked, I ended up not liking it at all, was The Hobbit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, I love like high fantasy stuff, but The Hobbit was so boring.
Dang. Well, yeah, it's like 1,000 pages long.
Yeah. But it's just boring.
Yeah.
Like, I spark noted it. And we read it during the pandemic. Like, we started reading it before and then finished it during.
Fair enough.
But like, man.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't get through it.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks when a book is like so hyped and like you think it's right up your alley and then it's just not.
Yeah. Like, the movies are great.
Yeah.
But the book is so boring. It might be a hot take, but like, I don't care. It's boring. Maybe I'm used to more action and whatnot in my books, but man. I straight up could not get through it.
I think I want to read Les Mis, but it's like 1,000. It's a 1,000-page book. But
a lot of the Edgar Allan Poe stuff was also really good.
Oh yeah,
I love him.
Oh yeah, like I remember reading like The Raven,
The Telltale Heart,
The Cask of
Amontillado.
Yeah, that one.
The Fall of the House of Usher.
Yeah.
The Mask of the Red Death.
Annabelle Lee is like one of my favorite poems to this day. I love it.
The Mask of the Red Death was Mask of the Red Death was interesting.
I need to read more Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah.
I need to just read more classics like that. I think I want to go back and reread like all of Shakespeare.
Really?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thanks. Because like I had to read a couple in like middle school, high school.
Yeah. I know that there was like the one Romeo and Juliet movie adaptation
with Olivia Hussey and the other guy.
I think that's who it was. Yeah.
That movie is actually really funny because I think Olivia Hussey was 15 when she filmed that movie, and there's a love scene.
Yep.
And she couldn't see herself.
Yeah, she couldn't go to the movie that she was in.
That's always crazy to me.
Yeah. But it is still a really good movie.
I can't remember if it was 8th grade or in 10th grade. No, it was 8th grade when we watched it. Our teacher had taped over that part of the movie with like one of his fishing trips. That was funny.
Yeah. Every teenage boy that saw that movie had a crush on her.
Yeah. No, she was beautiful.
Yeah.
She's 15. So I say that very with a grain of salt. She was a beautiful girl.
Mm-hmm.
It was Leonard Whiting. There we go.
Yeah.
I'm looking up the cast now.
Hold up. Haley Steinfeld, Romeo and Juliet, 2013.
That was it's like West Side Story. Where like the Montagues and the Capulets are gangs.
Are you sure?
Isn't that one? No, wait, no, I'm thinking of the Leonardo DiCaprio one.
Yeah. That's the Leo one.
Sorry, that was silly of me.
Speaking of Leonardo DiCaprio, The Great Gatsby.
Such a good movie.
Love the book too. Book was really good. And the movie as well. Like,
yeah.
With Spider-Man in it.
Ooh. Dubs. Good
Tobey
movie.
Maguire. As Nick Carraway. What? It fits perfectly.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know that when I saw it.
Yeah. Like when we read it, we were like reading the book and then watching the movie. It's like we would read like a chapter or so, and then we would like watch the part of the movie where that chapter was.
Okay.
And like anytime I read it after like seeing the scenes, Nick Carraway's voice was always Tobey Maguire. And then there was also the scene where Leonardo DiCaprio, Gatsby, gets shot in his pool. Which is like a really interestingly shot film, like scene.
Yeah.
Because the one dude whose wife got ran over, like, goes to Gatsby's pool, pulls out his revolver pistol, shoots Gatsby, and then it cuts to Leo, and then like he just like touches his like nipple, essentially, like his chest, and it's just like, oh, there's a little bit of blood, and then it just like faints in the pool, like he's dying. But then it just immediately like cuts over to the guy that shot him. And he's just putting the gun like right in his mouth. Like, bro, what? Like, like I know he shoots himself in the book as well.
Yeah.
That's not just a thing that they did for being traumatic.
It's just powerful imagery when you see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the way that like it just like it cuts to him and you just see him like,
and it is like a jump scare.
Yeah. Have you seen that clip before?
I need to see that again. Yeah, no, I've seen the movie.
Like it's like what?
Yeah, it just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. Like it's a really good movie.
I need to watch it again.
Yeah.
Young and Beautiful is such a good song.
All
right, friends. I think that is.
We've been recording for like 3 hours.
You've been recording for like 3 hours.
This is going to be a long one.
It's going to be a long one, guys. Buckle up. Buckle in.
Or unbuckle now because we're done.
Oh, true. Yeah.
I hope you're buckled in.
At the beginning. Yeah.
Hope you're buckled in the whole time.
Don't ride in a car without a click it or ticket.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you come back next week, maybe we'll all know what we're doing a little bit better, but probably not, because if we did, then we wouldn't have a podcast. So
yeah,
okay.
Very true.
Yeah. If we don't know what you're doing, don't freak out. Don't be afraid, because you're not alone. Neither do we. My name is Kaylee.
My name is Logan.
And we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah. We don't know what we're doing.
We are what we eat. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a wonderful week and hope to see you back or hear you back, or I hope you hear us back.
Or be back.
Or be back. Just be back. Same time, same place.
Yep.
All right.
Follow us on Instagram.
I always forget to plug the Instagram. Yeah. Follow the Instagram.
Yep. Or our personal accounts.
Follow, yeah, honestly, give us a follow boost.
Yeah. But first you gotta go to our Instagram for the podcast. Yeah. And then you have to go to who the podcast is following, and then you can find us.
And we're also tagged in every post.
Yep. Follow the podcast, then follow us.
Follow the podcast, follow us. Yeah. We won't steer you wrong, we promise.
Yep.
At least we'll try not to.
Yeah. And ladies.
Slide into Logan's DMs.
Or don't.
Logan is searching for, and I forget what type we are already. 1 second. INFJ.
Yeah. Or anything.
Or anything. Honestly, this man just needs a date. Okay.
We'll see about that.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. We'll see.
It's okay. He's a great guy. Ladies, he's a catch. For real.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want average white guy podcaster?
That's like 40% of the world right now. I know. It's okay.
Like brown hair, brown eyes, white, has a podcast.
All right, friends.
All right.
We don't know what we're doing. Hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll catch you back here next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.